Hey guys, how's it going today? Dakota here. Today is the first in the series of Technique Tuesdays. So this series is going to involve me kind of explaining some techniques or breaking down some theoretical concepts that I use on the guitar. Today we're going to be focusing on this pattern that I use to kind of move up and down the fretboard really quickly and create these nice flowing lines. It's going to sound a little something like this. So something like that is going to get you from all the way from the 3rd fret here, and that got me all the way up to the 15th fret. So that kind of movement is really nice and glidey. It sounds really pretty. Almost kind of has a country quality to it, but you can use it in any genre. Let's go into it and break it down. So what we've got going on is we're taking a 3-octave arpeggio of a G major chord, and we're moving it up the fretboard to kind of get some movement and get into different areas of the fretboard. We're using a slide from the 2nd note, which is an A, up to a B, and that's kind of how we'll position shift. Now, when I'm playing this, you're going to notice that I'm doing some hybrid picking, which is just kind of my thing. You can use alternate picking, economy picking, whatever is comfortable for you. I'll explain it how I do it, which is the hybrid picking way. Now, we're starting down here, 3rd fret of the E string with our 1st finger. Then we hammer on to the 2nd fret, or excuse me, we hammer on to the 5th fret with our 3rd finger, which is the A note. So 3 to 5, slide up to 7, which is a B. Then we're gonna hit our 5th fret of the A string, which is the D note or the 5th of the chord. Then we're gonna use a rolling technique with our 1st finger to roll onto that next octave G on the 5th fret of the D string. 3rd fret, hammer on to 5th, slide up to 7th, 5th fret on the A string, and then 5th fret on the D string. And once we get here, we kind of repeat the pattern. It's gonna look essentially the same. So we've got, now we're here on the 5th fret of the D string. From there, we do the same pattern. We go hammer on from 5 to 7, then we slide up to 9, then 7th fret of the G string, and then we use our 2nd finger to hit the next octave up, the next G, and that's gonna be our 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the B string. So that goes. And even that is good enough right there, just the 2 octaves, that'll get you moving, position shifts. But next step we do, when we do make it to the 8th fret on the B string, we're gonna stretch with our 3rd finger, hammer on to that 10th fret of the B string, which is an A note, sliding up to the 12th fret of the B string with our 3rd finger. So we got, then we go 1st finger, 10th fret of the E string, and then last note is going to be that G, that 3rd octave. Now, what I'm doing with my right hand is a pick, hammer on, slide, pick. But I'm doing 2 consecutive downstrokes. So downstroke, hammer on, slide, downstroke. Then I pick the D string with my middle finger. And then hammer on again, downstroke, pluck, hammer on, slide, down. Cool. Now you can also go backwards with it. I recommend practicing that because it's always harder to do backwards slides and kind of position shifts. So it makes your brain think in the opposite direction, which is really good. Always challenge your brain. So that's backwards. Now we could also do this the minor version, which is kind of the same, except we'll be going into the minor 3rd instead of the major 3rd. Still using that 2nd note of the scale, which in this case is an A, to slide into. So that's gonna go 3rd fret on the E string, then third finger, 5th fret, and we slide up to the 6. Then we use the same pattern as we did before with our first finger on the D string, the A string with the 5th fret, which is the D. Then we roll to that G, which is on the 5th fret of the D string. So then we repeat the pattern. All right, same thing as before. Then we get down here to the 8th fret of the B string, using that third finger to hit that 10th fret, slide up to the 11th. Now this one's a little trickier because your hands become kind of bunched up a little bit. So I recommend practicing this slow and get really used to how your fingers need to move. So that variation is off of the 6th string root, right? So we're starting down here at the lowest E string, and we're moving up. Now we can do this off the 5th string too, and there's 2 ways to do it. The first way to do it is just starting on the 5th string. So let's take it to C. So we're down here at the 3rd fret on the A string, right? And we kind of have the same patterns going on. So we go 3rd fret, hammer on to 5th fret, slide up to the 7th. Then we 5th fret with our first finger on the D. Then we roll to that 5th fret on the G string. Do the same thing where we're doing a hammer on slide. So we got, and then first finger on the 8th fret of the B string. Then we go roll again, and then hammer on from 8 to 10, slide up to 12. Now, there's 2 ways you can kind of do that when you get up to this point right here. I think what I generally do is instead of using my 3rd finger, I use my 2nd finger to slide because it gets me in a better position to kind of do a little roll right here. And you kind of have that little triad shape right here. So, and then you can do stuff like, one other variation of that, kind of same thing, but we add the 5th on. And that's just starting on the 5th. It gives us a little bit more to work with. I like using that one a lot. Now, the way I've been practicing this stuff is going, kind of taking it just through major chords. So say like in the key of G, we'll do like G, C, and then D, right? So I'll go, and then I go to C, then D, and then you can also add in the 5ths, like when you go to the 5th string root once, you go. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson today. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, the link to the tab is going to be in the description box below. If you do have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, this Friday we've got another Freaky Lick Friday coming out, number 2 in the series. Sorry for the delay, guys, with getting back to work after for the last couple months. I've been super busy, and now I'm finally finding some time to get back to my videos. So I really hope you've enjoyed this one today, guys, and thank you. See ya next time.